How he is. Matt Riccardi joining us here. Thanks for having a little time here in the blue-white scrimmage. First, let's talk about Cooper Flagg. We know what he can do physically on the court, his versatility. We saw him block a shot to put his first stats up on the board Monday night and fill the stat sheet. But his brain, talk about his mental aspect and how he's approached kind of this new offense and everything being new going into the season.
I think something that makes him so unique is how quickly he picked everything up. I mean, this guy, he should be a freshman in college this year, and he walks into an NBA environment that he's never been around before, and like the snap of his fingers understands the schemes offensively, defensively. Like he just soaks it all in and has worked really hard to get a good understanding in it, but he has such an innate feel. It's pretty special.
So when you look at guys like Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, I mean, so many veterans on this team, how big has it been for him to be around these guys in training camp and practice every single day?
King, it's been special. You know, there's multiple future Hall of Famers on this roster, multiple guys that have won championships, and he sees their work ethic, and he's, oh, okay, this is how they work, cool. Maybe I got to step my game up here or there. Like, he's already an incredibly hard worker, but he's been able to, you know, take little aspects of their game. Even Kyrie's footwork, I've seen him kind of mimicking during random drills and things like that. Just take a piece from everybody because he's so intelligent as a basketball player that he's able to incorporate all those things.
So talk about a moment you saw in practice with him, I believe it was Sunday, where he showed some resiliency and fight.
Guys, for an 18-year-old to make this type of play is just remarkable to me. He catches the ball in the left slot, beats somebody off the bounce, goes to the basket, goes up to try to dunk it. P.J. Washington catches it at the apex. Okay, great block by P.J., super athletic.
Down.
Two freight trains going at each other, right? And he falls to the ground, gets up, and instinctively makes a play on the ball, then dives on the ball to get his team another possession. Just something that, you know, you might be able to see a guy who's been in the league 10 years have that sort of resiliency and make that play, but for him to make it in training camp his first year, pretty special.
Michael Finley joining us for a cameo appearance. So another change has been the coaching staff. Jason Kidd's coaching tree has grown some limbs. Everybody got to get promotions on that old staff, which is a great team. And we brought in some new players, Popeye Jones, Mike Penberthy, Phil Handy, but of course the two former coaches in Frank Vogel and of course Jay Triano. Talk about what they bring to this team.
Yeah, how special is that? We've created such an environment where the coaches here have been able to use this exposure and this platform and this knowledge base to move on to other jobs and better jobs elsewhere, and hopefully those guys will be head coaches here soon. But then we were able to bring in two former head coaches in Jay Triano and Frank Vogel, who are one's doing the offense, one's doing the defense, and just have brought so much knowledge to the game from outside sources that the rest of the group has been able to grow.
Right now. I'm getting myself. There we go. You talk about coaches stepping up to the plate and being able to move up. Give us a name when it comes to players who has stood out to you, who has impressed you in training camp, in practice thus far.
You know, this is the first training camp that I've had with Anthony Davis. I know this is a strange answer because this guy's been in the league forever, multiple-time All-Star, NBA champion, but seeing him day in and day out, what a phenomenal talent he is and a great leader, and he's been so outspoken and helpful to the young guys and just put his imprint on the game on both ends of the court, which is special.
So talk about this new look offense. This is not, we're used to a lot of ISO ball around here and people kind of positioning themselves around the three-point line. We're going to see something different tonight, aren't we?
Well, you're definitely going to see something different. I had Coach Triano's voice in my head where at practice all the time he's saying, if you cut, you're never wrong. So it's something, we had a very stagnant offense, obviously, in the past with pretty special players, and this one's going to be built differently, and guys are going to be moving off the ball, and hopefully we create some offense out of our defense, which is going to be special for the Mavs to kind of feel what that feels like.
How has the adjustment been for Jason Kidd? We know that he is one of the greatest point guards to ever play on this court. But you don't look at his roster, you don't have that many point guards on this team. How much of an adjustment has it been for him to be able to say, all right, without those type of guards, and I have a bunch of wings and post players, how hard is that of an adjustment has that been for him as a coach?
I think he's loving it. You know, the more you're around Coach Kidd, it's interesting because, yes, like you said, he's a Hall of Fame point guard, but the more you're around him, he wants multiple ball handlers on the floor. Yeah. He wants whoever to get the rebound to bring it up. Now, when he was playing, I don't think that was the case. He said, give me that ball, and I'm bringing it up and setting the offense. But he wants everyone to take it up and everyone else to run to their spots. So I think it's awesome that he's evolved in that way as the NBA game has evolved, honestly.
We're going to see Klay Thompson on the blue team tonight. He seems like a man on a mission. He seems to be great mentally after kind of settling in now in his second season. He's going to be a key shooting those threes. What have you seen from him in just a week and a half?
He's been ready to go. He's in elite shape. He's probably the guy who came back in the best shape out of all of our players, which is phenomenal given his years and how many years he's into this thing. Sometimes the veterans come in and work themselves into shape. And he's been shooting the hell out of the ball. He's been defending everybody up and down the court. He is a great leader, and his presence on the floor, you feel him when he's out there. He's a champion. He's a champion. And Cooper has actually taken a lot from him in regards to that aspect of his work.
You know, two names that really stand out to me on this roster. We talk about lack of guards. I was a guard. That's why I keep bringing it back to my guards, my perimeter players. Jaden Hardy, Max Christie. I feel like there's a lot of places on the court in which they can really be able to step into a new role. Have you seen any playmaking abilities from these young men?
I remember you playing. I scouted you in college, so it tells you how old I am. But you were a very good guard.
Great Baylor University.
Very, very good. You know, Max and Jaden both have special talents. They bring different things to the game. They play the game in a different way. We need both of them to be successful. But they're ready to make that jump. They've worked really hard on their game, and I'm excited for everyone here tonight and everyone in the world to get to see this once we start playing.
Assistant General Manager Matt Riccardi, thanks for joining us, taking some time.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, my man.